Well, hello there, 242. It's 4th of July weekend, so here's what I need you to do. Grab yourself a cold beverage, because I've got some tips about how you can enjoy 4th of July while being socially distanced, because what you always know here is safety is sexy. Let's get to it. Now, your first tip has to do with one of these. This right here is a grass cutter defined 4003. Now, your neighbors probably have one, and all you got to do if you want to show up to the 4th of July party is show up with one. And just start mowing the whole time, okay? Someone wants to shake that hand, someone wants to get near you, you just go right in their direction and keep cutting. And all along, no one will get close to you. You'll enjoy the nice outdoors, the festivities, and get a nice cut on the lawn, all right? On to tip number 2. Now, this next tip is one that dads have had mastered for years. And it's pretty simple. Volunteer to be the grill master. Why? While you're over here flipping, turning burners, someone wants to shake your hands. Look, I don't have the availability. In fact, if you're a real pro, hold on to this. You go ahead and double fist utensils. And then someone wants to come at you, and you don't let them. So, it's a great tip. You get a lot of quality. And I think for decades, dads have not wanted to shake hands. They volunteered to grill. Hey, sorry about you. I'm over here busy. Let's stay socially distanced. Let's keep safe. Now, your last tip is going to take some tools, all right? I've got a pointer here, maybe a Mickey Mouse pointer, which real fast. I'm going to give you a Mickey Mouse impersonation just for free. Okay, you ready? Oh, boy! Tell me that wasn't excellent, all right? Oh, boy! What up, boy? It's good, and you know it. You're a little freaked out. That's what I've got here, because obviously Mickey Mouse fanatic. But what would also work is if you've got a doll or your sibling has a doll, you just snip those hands right off, and that will work, all right? What you're going to do is a little trickery here, all right? You're literally going to have something up your sleeve, okay? For me, this is how it's going to work. Someone wants to come in and shake that hand, okay? I just give them one of these. Socially distanced, socially acceptable, all right? You can do that with a doll hand. Hey, you want to tap someone on the shoulder? Hey, how you doing there, friend? Doing okay? Hey, I'm doing okay too, but I'm going to be safe doing it. Hey, there's lots more tips to come, but you're going to enjoy your 4th of July, and you're going to do it safe, because safety is sexy. Hey, welcome to church. It's going to be a good night. Let's make it a safe night.
Hey there, students. Welcome to 242 Students Online. My name's Kelly, and I'm one of your pastors from the Livonia campus, and we're so excited to have you here. It's 4th of July weekend, and obviously, I'm pumped. Decked out in red, white, and blue. Gonna enjoy the pool later. We have some beautiful weather. After all that time indoors, I'm so excited to spend time outside. What did you do this weekend? Maybe you went to the lake, had a socially distant bonfire with friends, a cookout with family? Whatever you did or are doing, I really hope you enjoy it and that time spent with the people that you love. We're back tonight for another message in our series on voices, so stay tuned.
So right now I'm on the campus of the beautiful Michigan State University here in East Lansing, Michigan. And some of you who are pretend gagging in the chat, I get it. I grew up near Ann Arbor. It's also an incredible campus, and even you Ohio State fans, I've been to your campus, it's gorgeous. Most college campuses are gorgeous. But one thing I've noticed around here, and I even thinking back, I noticed this before this, is buildings are named after people. Like, I even think back to my elementary school. It was named after a teacher in the school district that I grew up in, and who apparently did incredible things for the school district. And even when I was in college, there was a literal chapel ceremony for this guy who gave a big check to the school to build this building, and there they announced that the building was in fact gonna be named after him. And so when we see these names that are on places, oftentimes it makes us think, okay, so what did they do? What was their legacy that allowed them to really have this building named after them? What is the great thing that did, or how big was the check that they gave so that they could have this legacy on this campus? And not that there's anything wrong about giving money to a school or a school district or doing something that it requires a statue or a monument to be built about you. Jesus calls us, I think, to be something more, to do something different. See, in John 13:34-35, he says this, "A new command I give you, that you love one another. Just as I have loved you, you also are to love one another. By this, all people will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another." And Jesus, throughout the Gospels, expands this to talk about neighbors, enemies. Really, in the end, we are called to love everyone. And that is how we are going to be known as followers of Jesus. And you might be confused. You might be like, okay, Matt, this series is called Voices, and we've heard your voice before. You've talked about this before. Why isn't someone else? And the reason it's me is literally because we're just going to be talking about looking at other voices and stories who live out this principle and this idea. One of those voices that, if you've never read this guy's Wikipedia article, I encourage you to do so, is this guy named Levi Coffin. He was a follower of Jesus, but also he was an abolitionist. And if you don't know what that means, basically he was for abolishing slavery in the United States. And he was part of creating the Underground Railroad and running it so that slaves could be freed, so they could escape to the north and be free. A name maybe you're a little bit more familiar with is Mother Teresa. She was someone who grew up in kind of a wealthy part of Europe, was kind of affluent, but was a follower of Jesus, was a nun, and went to India, to one of the poorest parts in the slums of India. Saw how culture was systematically oppressing people, and she said, I'm going to love those people. And she not only loved those people well, but she brought international attention to the injustice that was happening, and more people came to love those people and to show them the love of Jesus. The final story that I kind of want to prime you for, that maybe you want to look into, is this guy named Dietrich Bonhoeffer. Dietrich Bonhoeffer. He was a pastor in Germany who ultimately died because he opposed Hitler during World War II. When you read his writings, when you read his biography, you see this man who, he spent some time in the United States, and he went back, he said, I'm going to oppose evil because I know what these people are doing is evil, and I'm called to love people. So you and I, what's our story going to be? We all have a story that we tell each and every day, and each and every chapter, every day, it builds up to be this big story that is the story of our lives. So what's the legacy that we're going to leave behind? Is it going to be the one that Jesus calls us to love one another? And are we going to learn from people in the past of the church? Or are we going to do what we want to do? As we enter into this time that we call Encounter here, where we're going to have a song, and if you like singing, stand up and worship. If you don't, maybe sit and think about this question of what is the story you want to tell? What is it that you want your life to be lived? How do you want it to be lived? And what are you going to do to live that life? Because you and I, we don't accidentally end up anywhere. We choose our friends. We choose who we're going to be each and every day. So what's the life? What's the legacy? What's the story? What's the voice that we want to have that people can learn from us from in the future?
Can't control what
Thanks for joining us this week for 242 Students Online. But don't stop here. Fill out a Next Steps card to join an online small group to let us know how we can help you take a next step. Be sure to invite a friend next week for 242 Students Online.